Hey there, thank you so much for tuning into our podcast. But before I take you to your show, I have a very small request to make. Do check out the other episodes that we have created so far. And as you know, we are available on all major music and podcast streaming apps across the world. So, whichever podcasting platform you're listening to, do hit the follow button and leave us a rating, as that will help us improve our content and reach a wider audience. And with that, welcome to the show. Hello there, all of you beautiful people of the world. Say that again, mate. It is episode number 3226. And with me, I have Priyanka Mishra as usual. I won't say anything bad about her today. It would be a plain and simple introduction. Uh, just like that. Just
It's
having
it's yeah.
just
It's
having
been
an off.
quite a while since I was
Yeah,
away
for a
from
change. For a change.
I was away from our podcast. Last podcast I was not there when
And why the
you
hell were you not there?
because I was in my best friend's wedding. That's why the hell I was not there. And I was celebrating my birthday. My sister was celebrating my birthday, like an event. So she gathered.
You sound rich.
My
So does your
sister is rich.
sister.
I am not. She booked everything. She did everything. Like almost everything she planned. Uh, just saying family trip planning and everything. It's like sometimes go haywire and it uh, test your patience, as my sister says. But
So
then
is
it's
there a
fun.
possibility that she would book something like that for me as well for my birthday? She would celebrate my birthday as well in a similar way, or it has to be your sibling, a blood relation.
No, you have to be her younger sister, specific to be specific, not brother. Prakhar. So
Oops.
you have to be her younger sister. So other than that,
So
she
that's
was.
just one person in the world, and that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, you own 90% of the equity in this podcast, and 10% is out for the investors. I am an employee, and you just leave the podcast and just go and come back asking me the numbers like, how is our podcast doing? Is anyone listening? And I tell you that, yeah, seven people previous episode and eight the one before that. Six people heard the one before that, and that's how the numbers are going on right now.
I mean,
So,
that's what stakeholders do. The
all
the
right,
higher the
I got
number
it.
of
I
they're
got
not
it.
there. They're not there for most of the events. They just say hi and they leave.
And they
वो
just come every
एंट्री में
March in the board
हाँ
meetings.
हाँ एंट्री में वो रिबन कट करके they leave.
Got it.
They're very busy.
You busy piece of investor. Anyway.
Piece of shit.
Anyway, today I have like a sad topic. There's a very like painful earthquake that just took place in Syria and Turkey. It was 7.8 magnitude on the Richter scale, and oh my God, the stories you look around, the people suffering from it, it just gives me so much pain, and of course, all of us, because I always feel that sometimes we have just overdone with the nature. We have destroyed it, and when it backfires, it becomes so painful and
To
pathetic to look
watch.
at.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I
And
just saw the pictures today morning, uh, before and after ones, and I was like, all your life you work for this property, and this year that I should be building, I should be investing here, and then
correct.
I should have this for my children, for future kids and everything, and then it it vanishes in a second. Is it all worthwhile? Is it all like when you skip few of? I'm just I just go very philosophical when I watch such stories, because
Mhm.
I I hunt for whenever I skipped any family function or get together or something, or people does,
Mhm.
they do such things for work, and then one day it just goes away like that. So is it all worthwhile? I was just thinking.
And forget about the destruction, the stories that come out of
Hmm.
it. It's fine, you lose a property or something. I mean, it's not fine, of course, but there are kids, there are animals, there are old people who, even if you could have saved them in some way, because of the weakness, the physical weakness that they have, you're not able to save them for some reason. And at the same time, there's some really beautiful pictures where a 1 year or 2 year old kid was taken out of the remains of a fallen building, and the kid smiled the moment he saw so many people clapping and cheering for him. And it was such a beautiful picture on the internet I just saw the other day. And I felt like, oh my God, look at the ray of hope. Look at the sensitivity and the beauty of this world, beauty of the people. But the way we are using the nature, the way we are treating it, it will backfire. It is hitting us back in some way.
In
That
some
gives me.
way and in so many different ways actually, भैया, क्योंकि अभी we can see so many stories that 25 to 35-year-old are having such issues in their body, type 2 diabetes, and then heart issues, as we discuss in so many episodes, all these things included, because घूम फिर के सेल्फ डिस्ट्रक्शन भी चल ही रहा है, apart from mother nature destroying us, because it's coming back to us in this way also, apart from earthquakes and natural disasters, including cyclone and heavy rainfall and everything. So your family can vanish in just a second. You, आज से पहले आप कुछ सोच पाओ, वो जो सामने है वो नहीं रहेगा. That's something uh,
You know,
it's
there's
not in our control.
there's this guy. I'm not sure if he's a scientist or a philosopher. He predicted this earthquake, and he also says that now the next target would be the Indian subcontinent, like Afghanistan, Pakistan, some parts of China, and the Arabian Sea side of India. The Western Ghats, basically. And it's saying that it can be even bigger than what just happened in Turkey.
Hmm.
And
That's
imagine the population density that we have in the western side of our country. There's Mumbai, there's Rajasthan, there's Gujarat, most of Maharashtra, Karnataka is there. And I think all of these countries have immense population density. Pakistan, Afghanistan as well. Same with China, if you go to that side. I just hope that these things are predicted in advance and the necessary steps are taken in order to, minimize the uh, loss that we might have. But I'm not sure if this is like a true story, if what he's saying is just his conviction, his prediction, or is it something backed by science. We'll have to wait for that. But I guess this is what is happening. And every time, have you noticed this? Every time something like that happens, some person from some part of the world will say that I already predicted this. And they do.
hmm.
There will be a tweet 3 years old that said that,
There is
okay,
a proof existing in Twitter
yeah,
always.
again, this is like, again, mind blowing sometimes. What?
There, there are few news articles about zombie injection and all. I was like, okay, this one too. I can't take it.
Dude. And
Instagram is very overwhelming anyway, with all
yeah,
the wedding pictures and everything.
true.
And then when you see such news, and you feel like, can we just breathe? We're already overwhelmed with so much information in our head.
Exactly. And, a lot of countries have been sending the necessary help. Even India sent like a couple of aircrafts for
Hmm.
with the relief work with
So
the
good to
people
see.
like from NDRF and Air Force. And one thing that I just learned like a couple of days back, that Pakistan didn't give us the airspace. while our people were going to do the rescue work. And
Mm.
that just that is so mean. I
And
I
juvenile,
I don't
and
know what to
juvenile at
say.
the moment. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. It's it's just so you need maturity sometimes. You need
Hmm.
maturity by understanding the sensitivity of what's happening around you.
Yes. At least
Pakistan,
sometimes. At least
exactly.
sometimes he can show.
Sometimes,
बड़े भाई
sometimes
की कभी कभी बात मान लेनी चाहिए. Let's just say that and end it.
I would say पापा की बात कभी कभी मान लेनी चाहिए.
बाप की बात मान लेनी चाहिए.
बड़े बाप की बात मान लेनी चाहिए. Well put. All right,
तो
there's a lot happening in the Bollywood. If we can talk about that.
yeah, wedding all around. I was just thinking, like my friend also got married. I don't know how they divided the like finance of the wedding. But then I just wanted to know how would you matlab, do you have any plan like you would invest only this much amount because there are so many like in Indian wedding there are so many rasam and mini uh
I would
programs.
do
Hmm.
everything which is the cheapest option available. I do not want to, it's not investment. It's just
Hmm.
putting your money to just eh, to fire. I would want to have a ceremony in the cheapest possible way. Just, I mean, of course, I owe a good dinner or a lunch to whoever
Yes.
is gonna come.
Hmm.
That's one obligation, and that is one place that I would like to invest, not invest, that I would like to put my money.
Hmm.
Otherwise, for everything else, I would just find the cheapest possible way to get it done because it doesn't make sense, Priya. You won't remember about it 3 days later,
And
and
bhaiya, it's
someone has
so
gone.
exhausting.
It's
I'm
exhausting, and
sorry. It's
someone I'm telling you, people go like head over heels debt after
hmm.
a marriage. They arrange money from so many unreliable sources. You cannot get this kind of loans from banks. You can get personal loans up to a certain limit. After that, either you have saved all your life for this wedding, or there is something like you sell off your property, you sell off something for this day that you have been procuring all your life. So I just believe this is so much of uh, unnecessary thing, unnecessary event that we spend so much of money just in showing off and making others happy. The bride and groom are already happy and they are
Like
nervous. They
yeah,
won't be able to.
also the pressure
Yeah.
continuously they go through. I'm not saying that people who like in again investing is the word I can use because they put their money and then after a while they think is this necessary, should I pay for this, but then they go for it because they say
Yeah.
they that's what they think. If I have some money, I've been planning for this big event, and the other partner, of course, he or she wanted like uh, proper Sangeet night and proper this and this Varmala thing, separate entry song and exit song, वगैरह वगैरह. Then they do that because शादी एक ही बार होती है और आपको थोड़ा फील करना है. You
Of
want
course.
that Bollywood wala vibe. So what I thought after this, after
Mhm.
watching all of these intriguing videos and everything, I said to myself that I want like of course हमारे में तो हिंदू वेडिंग में it's वरमाला एंड ऑल इज कंपल्सरीली ये तो ठीक है चलो या तो आप कोर्ट मैरिज कर लो या फिर ये वरमाला और ये वाला तो है ही. आप अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट बस एक चीज होगी इट विल बी संगीत नाइट. आई वांट एवरीबॉडी टू डांस.
I
आई
just
वांट
don't
एवरीवन.
want that. I
नो
don't want to
भैया
have
इट्स
a
सो मच फन.
no. I don't want to have like a planned Sangeet night that
Ah,
people
correct. That's
see.
hey, you stole my answer. Let me complete it. Let me
Okay.
complete it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it should have bachpan mein I remember going to weddings and it was just fun. I do not
Mhm.
remember कि मेरा outfit ये होना चाहिए. Should I wear this? Should I wear that? ये I do not remember. I swear. I just remember dancing. I just remember like eating तो it's fine, उतना ध्यान नहीं था उसमें, लेकिन वो जहाँ पे डीजे चल गया इट वाज लाइक चलो अभी नाचते हैं। और हम लोग बहुत मजे करते थे, हमें याद भी है कि टू व्हाट ऑल लाइक प्लेसेस वी वेंट टू एंड वी हैड फन
Yeah.
बचपन का। बट अभी इट्स सो मच, अगेन नो ऑफेंस टू पीपल जो प्लान करते हैं कि वेडिंग में ये एंट्री होनी चाहिए, ये वाला ये होना चाहिए, नो ऑफेंस टू देम। बट देन वो प्रेशर बिल्डअप हो जाता है, हो ही जाता है कि मैं स्टेप ना भूल जाऊं, मैं मुझे
See,
एंट्री में
there
ऐसे
are ways to enjoy. I am not cutting you off. I'm not. I don't mean to, destroy your plans of Sangeet night, but I just feel like, maybe. So what we used to have in our families and
yes
the
previously.
relatives, how they in our circle, how they used to get married is, so there's no stage setup or something like
Hmm.
that for like a film fair
That's what I remember.
night.
हाँ, I remember sitting on my mother's lap और वो ढोलक वोलक एंड देन
Yeah,
उसी में डांस कर रहे हैं, उसी के गाने गा रहे हैं। आई एम नॉट सेइंग वो वापस रिपीट हो सकता है, बट प्लीज प्रेशर डाल के तो नहीं, जिसको मतलब जो जैसे करना है
exactly. It's
करे।
like so much of you're performing, you're back to
या
school, you
यस,
are in a competition
केयरफ्री,
right now. But
इट
anyway,
शुड बी।
that's selling. Bollywood has brought that into
हाँ,
our cultures. This was mostly a Punjabi thing where cocktail and Sangeet used to happen one night before the wedding. And
दिस इज अ
now,
पंजाबी थी।
but yeah, it was a Punjabi thing. And now imagine a person living in Ranchi is having these things in their wedding, which has nothing to do with their culture. A person living in Odisha or West Bengal is having in Telangana, in Madras, in Chennai. All of these things are happening, which have nothing to do with their culture.
या या
Yeah, so it's just too much of Punjabification of our of our
नो,
people,
इट ऑल्सो फील्स लाइक अवार्ड फंक्शन चल रहा है, बिकॉज I also performed few days back. And
and were you given
I
an
could
award?
I could see people like judging me, and then my outfit and then everything, because older people were there. तो वो
Hate it.
तो बैठेंगे शांति से, they'll just see, they'll not clap, they'll not clap in between enthusiastically shouting like your friends. They'll just
Yeah.
be like ऐसे proper ऐसा एक टक देखते रहे। they'll तो इफ यूल डांस ऐसे प्रॉपर, अब आप ऐसे कहीं भी नाचना शुरू कर दो फ्रेंड्स के साथ, नॉट स्टेज वाला, ऐसे आप ग्राउंड पे जब नाचते हो तो बाराती डांस, इट्स सो मच फन। आई एम जस्ट सेइंग वो वापस क्यों नहीं आ सकता।
Exactly. Exactly. We need to bring it back. We need to bring that rawness of weddings.
या कहीं भी बजा दो और फिर कोई भी अंकल अपना गंदा स्टेप करते हैं
You
बीच में
know,
आके।
I so there was this wedding few years back in my family. That's the latest one that I can recall. And in one of my relatives' house, actually. So this was one night before the wedding. We had like three people who played a dhol like a professional. We brought them in. They
वाह,
played for 6 hours non-stop, starting 8 p.m. till like midnight, beyond midnight.
ये तो बहुत ज्यादा हो
And
गया।
and nobody stopped. Nobody stopped till then. All the time we had people dancing on dhol. All the time. There was no structured stage. There was no like lighting of such sort, like there's an award show going on or something. It was just as plain, simple, raw, homely as you can. But there's nothing against people who are doing it. Of course,
हम्म।
you want to do that. It's your day, it's your moment. Spend whatever the hell you want to spend and get things done according to you, your wishes, because this is hopefully not going to come back. I mean, you're not going to have a second Sangeet in a life. But yeah, let's come back to the economics, Priya, of
हम्म।
the weddings. You were talking about that. How much are you going to spend?
So
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna divide it like that. Two functions for one wedding. It's like that. 2 days only. Other than
right.
that, people are spending 7 days, 5 days. Uh it's, and for those 7 days, they plan like almost a year, for 1 year. And then,
Exactly. You remember I did a episode with Yash Kala, who's like a
hmm,
professional anchor. Guys, do check out that episode. He talks about the entirety of planning that goes around a wedding. Like they used to audition an anchor. He's an anchor who used to, um, you know, take care of a few events, and
hmm,
he went through auditions, like not exactly audition, but the families used to interact with him. He was a very important person. He was a very important character in their weddings, a personality in their weddings, because he used to take care of a lot of things. He used to steal the show sometimes. So I just feel like with the growing commercialization of everything, there's a business out of every small thing that you can think of. And I guess wedding is, I
one
think
of
it's
them.
it's it's more than $1 billion industry in India. It's more than that.
Pata hai
And
bhaiya, what happens when there is so many new things? It comes up on the upper layer of, uh, let's just say you said commercialization. It becomes,
Mhm.
then you want everything back to normal, where good old days, 90s was the era, and
Yeah.
then those were the times. All these things come up. You want the simplicity back now, and you really appreciate the minimal wedding where, every desi wedding where just wo dholak wala and then DJ baj jata tha and impromptu dance was happening. nobody's nobody's very, very well prepared for their entry and all, because for
Yeah.
my friend's wedding there was no song decided, so Reva walked in random band song, and it was, you know what song it was. It reminded me of my parents' wedding, Baharo Fool Barsao, and it was playing
Oh.
on that band wala. And I was like, this is special. She didn't plan for it कि मेरे गाने मेरा एंट्री में यही गाना बजना है, कुछ नहीं, वो उसने रैंडम बजाया, and then she walked towards the stage and it was very beautiful.
Okay. That's an idea I'm gonna steal. And well, a lot of listeners can also steal ideas from you. But I just like summing it up, not stretching this wedding thing. I just want to, uh, tell you about what I think of is that it's too much of expense in everything. And uh, it's fine if you have the money, go out, spend it. Like it's never less to spend a certain amount. You can always spend any amount for any function, for any event. It's just that people who, out of peer pressure, out of the pressure from their relatives or sometimes the social media, that okay, this kind of a wedding is an acceptable wedding,
Mm,
they end up spending so much money, and the money is not from their pockets. They end up getting loans from non-reliable sources, and we have heard so many things about these things. I know people who have taken personal loans up to 20 lakh rupees. 20
yeah.
lakh rupees loan. Imagine two of
Putting
you,
it in education is much, again, it's personal, but
or
then,
education, or there's so many other things. Like
hmm,
you can take a 20-30 lakh rupee loan and you can get a home of your own,
home, and then,
right?
yeah,
Which is a great
vehicle.
investment for the two of you. Instead
If
of
you want.
spending that much for something that's not, I won't say that something, um that's I mean, people forget weddings, people forget birthdays, people forget the events. You just have it for yourself and your family at the end, to
Hmm,
cherish about that. So as long as you are satisfied with what you're doing, it doesn't matter how much money you are spending, right?
hmm, hmm,
It doesn't matter whom you're trying to impress. It just has to be the two of you or the very close family. Like for your parents, it's a very special occasion. So sometimes, I remember my uncle, who is a very, very enthusiastic person when it comes to food and cooking and all of those things. Back in the day, like I'm talking 20 years from now, when my uh, youngest uncle was getting married, and my father, he was like, okay, he loves this particular dessert. So that, let's include that in the menu. And at that time, that was something. Like you don't go to weddings back in 2000s and you expect a rasmalai or a kheer in the wedding. There used to be like traditional rasgullas or some kind of a
Hmm.
halwa. These are elite desserts, which just I think I don't find such desserts at, at that time. Nowadays, you have like a whole platter and everything. So those little additions, which you think like it's gonna add to your happiness, and
Yeah.
you're not worrying about the world at that time. You're just so these are very personal moments, and I think wedding is a very personal event, and it should be as per what you find is special. That's totally my take. Rest, I mean, the sky is the limit to spend money, and everything has its own capabilities and future. So
Yeah.
yeah, people do spend a lot of money doing that.
One Swedish woman, she flew uh from her place to UP after she met the guy on Facebook. The same story has been repeated. I think few years back also similar thing happened. I don't remember. It was
And
Facebook only.
she came to India to marry
Ah,
that guy,
yeah,
and they met online.
they met online. Such things happen. Just saying.
I need to meet this guy. I need to reach out to him because
First of all, who is using Facebook?
he's a legend person. People do use Facebook, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes.
My parents do. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes. But then the level of trust she has in this boy. People from India don't have this level of trust for a UP guy.
Okay. Well,
They stereotype immediately. हाँ यूपी का है तो कुछ गड़बड़ी होगा और क्या
कोई तो गुंडा ही होगा
कुछ तो गड़बड़ी किया है इसने
कुछ तो क्रिमिनल ही होगा
कुछ तो क्रिमिनल वाला कुछ देखा होगा इसने इसे कुछ
इस
शौक
इसके
होंगे
इसके जॉब के बारे में नहीं लेट्स चेक अबाउट हिज क्रिमिनल रिकॉर्ड्स इफ ही हैज एनी
अच्छा इमेजिन भैया शी अगेन उसको पता तो होगा शी माइट knew the guy and everything but then there is always a possibility ना infidelity का कि he might be lying about something उसको कुछ नहीं लगा she came here and same
I
same for
mean
the guy also
I
the
mean,
Swedish
we don't know the
backstory.
specifics. Yeah, maybe they would have had enough conversation to feel confident about it and going forward with this decision. Maybe they would have like had like entire video call 24 hours a day to check on the
Mhm.
family and know the family.
Good for them.
And once everyone's ready
गौरी बहू आगे.
and nailed it, made it to the news and to a podcast, say that again, mate is talking about this
That is much
particular
bigger.
wedding.
Let's just say that is much
It
bigger.
has to be so huge. It must be.
Then again, all these like weird news in between. There is one that man sued one woman for like 3 million approx for friend zoning him. I think it's valid.
I think
He,
it is. He
yeah.
should. 3 million is less, maybe. Nobody's allowed to friend zone. I think if I go out to a lawyer, I would be getting a lot of money. I would be putting up a lot of cases in this. I'm a victim, Priya.
I didn't know Singapore had such laws against like people doing such thing personal things in their life.
I
I
think
don't know. How do you
the
prove that this person friend zone?
the code just is a little respectful there, maybe. In our country, maybe if I go with such a petition, they'll just throw me out and put up charges on me instead. Like, what the hell are you wasting time?
पहले तो आप पे रोस्ट किया जाएगा वहीं पे आधा घंटा और उसके बाद you'll come in news next day saying that oh look at this person coming like crying inside the police station then people were laughing at him and blah blah blah
Yeah,
ये news
yeah.
आएगी
I mean, you'll be the point of attraction for wrong reasons.
wrong reason उल्टा हो जाएगा
I mean, yeah, but friend zoning is a crime. Let's address it. Let's be
maybe she
serious
must
about
have
it.
she must have tricked him like for buying stuff ये नहीं है, ये दिला दो, or
Or
something
she
like
would
that.
have like promised her the world, like you are the most important person to me. And when the guy actually fell in love and thought of a future, she's told that I love you, but as a friend. And that statement, this particular line, I love you as a friend, is the most dangerous. I think
ये
nuclear.
सुन के ही बुरा
Yeah.
क्यों लग रहा है मुझे? ये इंस्टेंटली बुरा क्यों लग जाता है?
This is very personal, Priya. I'm telling you.
I love you, but as a friend. I think you can say this in front of a dog and he'll get upset. Like huskies are always
Of
happy.
course, of course.
Golden retriever.
So well put. So well put. I
They'll get
think,
sad instantly. I love you, but as a friend dog. I'm sorry. You're not
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
family.
I only
Please.
love my wife as as a person. Otherwise, everybody else I love as a
As an
friend.
animal? What is what is the framing of sentence? You messed up.
So I was supposed I was supposed to say I love you as a lover.
Oh my god.
Rest of the people I just love them
Uh
as a friend. This is stupid. You don't love
Valentine's
people.
week, guys. That's why KG is messing with words.
No, no, no. I'm telling you, Priya. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Hmm.
See, it's just stupid when people say that I love you. They love you as a friend. Nobody means that. Nobody means that. It's
Hmm.
just there is a particular bond where this statement need not be said.
As a
It,
friend, wala.
it's understood. It's
Ah.
understood that you are my friend and I'm your friend. We both have our limitations. We both have our personal lives. I think the boy friendship, it's something else. You
Hmm.
don't even think of these things, when it
Hmm.
comes to male friendships.
Guy best friends are really cool. They communicate
It's
without saying, like aliens. They communicate without saying anything.
you don't talk to them for 6 months,
Yeah.
and when you again call them after all of these months, they'll be the
Hmm.
same. They'll have no grudge against you. They'll not
Yes.
say कि इतने दिन से phone नहीं किया. Where were you all those years, all those days? They'll have no complaints.
Correct.
That's why I just believe that we should have more gays in this world because they're just the best people. We talked about it in the previous episode as well. Gay people
Yeah.
are the best people. Let's title this episode something like that. Let's not. Let's
You'll it'll be controversial for some reasons.
yeah.
I don't know. And then trans man got pregnant. It was confusing for me, but then I thought, okay, like 40% trans men must have been the case. I don't know, but yeah, it's very. I'm sorry, it's very confusing.
It's a gray area. Let's not go there, Priya. We are
Yeah,
still we're
and by
not
the way, he, she, they, it, they
them.
delivered the baby today.
Damn it. Where do you read all this news? Where which newspaper is publishing this? How do you get to know these things?
The same newspaper where you have been reading Kiara and Sid's wedding card has this message. Kiara and Sid's wedding had these dancers there in Jaisalmer, and
I
then
never read these news. I
don't
just
lie,
got to know that they got married and I
don't lie.
was sad.
You know, detailing of lehenga has also been shared. I said this should not be the news. Stop it.
This internet thingy, I tell you, is just it's too much personal. They're getting so much into their personal life.
Ah,
What lehenga is, what message is written in the lehenga, like save the planet. Um, why do we need to know all of that? It's their personal moment. Let them enjoy. Let them have fun. You
it's
know,
very dark actually. I saw one clip where the guy was asking, the reporter was in Jaisalmer. The guy was asking the band wala, what color is the sherwani? What color is she wearing? और कुछ देखा क्या? हेयर स्टाइल कैसा था? कुछ भी, कुछ भी, कुछ भी. बंद करो.
Arnab moment on the show.
और हाँ, कुछ भी. मतलब थोड़ा सा फिल्टर रख लो यार, हो गया. No wonder Vicky and Katrina Kaif had this very private wedding.
They had some legal agreements on the wedding invitation card. I remember, like
Ah,
nobody.
nobody's allowed to have phones.
I mean, these were rumors or they were actually existing. Nobody knows. Okay, like
But
there were
then there are no
drones.
such. Nahi, drones wala to she said it's not true.
Okay,
हाँ drones were shot down. इतना लेवल का पहुंच गया है कि अभी वो पत्थर फेंक रहे चिट्ठी में लपेट के कि
you know what else is shot down? There's a there's a
hmm
Chinese balloon which was shot down by United States Air Force,
yes.
which was allegedly spying on US. So it was roaming around the different states for like 4 days, I guess, and
Hmm.
they were trying to communicate with that, and nothing was happening. And then eventually, orders were given to take it down.
Hmm.
And the funnier part is, China says that there's nothing that
It's not, huh?
it's not ours. There's nothing that,
Like always.
and I don't know what were they spying from the air. Do you have any guesses what could be the information they were looking for?
Also, how powerful was the material of that balloon?
Yeah, they
It was
needed Air
able to
Force.
capture capture something like that, and there is a possibility. China can do anything. You cannot trust them, and US knows that. So they were like, "हटाओ इसको अभी इसको भी हटाओ." There is a possibility it can.
They can actually make anything,
Yeah,
A a spy or a gadget of any particular material out there could be
which seems
made
like
by.
very normal, generic thing. Okay, it just this is existing in my room. It's fine.
And
But
also,
then
I guess the balloon would be of a cheaper cost than rest of the world.
that's why it got shot.
That's the monopoly, right? That's the price, the
Hmm.
competitive price.
What
It
if
could.
what if they just sent a wider balloon just for peace? No, it was for peace from China to US. There was nothing in it. That's
At
why we
least
sent it.
that they could have accepted and communicated to the media that okay, it was
They
a
were not.
peace message. They
No,
did
no,
not.
they cannot.
They did not. Have you ever been to one of such balloons?
You have had. I know that. How
I
does it feel?
No, no, I didn't go like up. I was
Hot air
in a
balloon.
balloon festival last year where
Acha.
yeah, it's like one of the festivals in Mexico where they fly, I think, around 50 odd balloons at the same time from one spot. More than 50, I guess. More than 50. And the sky looks so beautiful at that time. So wonderful. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think we have something like that in Turkey as well, in Cappadocia, whatever you pronounce it.
Pronounce it. In
And
in
in
India, where does this happen? Like, do you know any place?
Banaras, it happens
Banaras
in
में?
Banaras. Yeah,
There is another reason added. I wanna visit Banaras soon.
you have to. I did I tell you that I met this wonderful lady from LA, and she's actually a filmmaker and an actress. I'll try to get her to the podcast and we can talk to her. And she works in Hollywood actually, and she visited Banaras. And you know what she told me? I asked her,
Hmm.
what was your experience?
Hmm.
And she told madness. It's sheer madness. I have not been to a crazier place in this entire world. And just
Oh.
that just made me feel so like she from different part of a world, she could come and experience that. And Priya, us, both of us, the you, of course, the owner of this podcast, and me, the employee, have not visited
We all know
Banaras.
it's vice versa. Anyway, huh? We have to go. Bhaiya, we have to go.
We have to. Let's shoot one episode from Banaras. Okay.
But
And
it's not possible.
why it's not
We'll
possible?
have to check network and everything. We'll see if it is feasible, then we'll surely do that. But then let's record something for your public account.
Okay.
We have
Okay.
Soumya Didi's expertise, who is from Pune.
That's why she's out of everything.
Yeah, Didi is getting better in making reels. Let's just say I appreciated her in person also. This is the first
Yeah.
time, and she doesn't believe whenever I appreciate her. She's like, "Take it back. You're lying. Please take it back."
I suggest her name to people who are looking for somebody who can edit
Who can I
reels
did?
and all.
Yeah.
Sometime back, yeah, sometime back somebody like put saying I'm looking for someone who can edit a reel for a particular event, and I have all the footage,
Mm-hmm.
whatever the event was. Immediate Soumya Mishra.
Soma Mishra.
Soumya Mishra is the person. Go get her, get your reels edited.
What did
She'll
she
help you.
say? She denied.
Uh so this communication was happening without letting her know that I'm suggesting referring her name to somebody for a reel editing. She's gonna hate me for that. Anyway,
Not the first time you did something like this. Okay.
else to talk about the Chinese balloon shot down anything. How could people spy with a balloon?
I mean, th- there have been so many
Nothing.
cases where people like we with the help in like we had bird looking object which is so much like nearer to looking like a vulture, so that can be possible. Balloon can be used. There might be like certain
Or it looked
activities they
like
might
moon. It was a white balloon.
moon to
It
bhaiya
was a
it's
white
not
balloon. It could have looked like a
possible,
moon.
but it was moving. Balloon is always
Imagine,
hmm.
imagine something like that above the skies, and you start thinking that it's a moon, and why is it so close to me, and why is it moving?
Then
Or
you're
you think, or
stupid.
you start
There's a lot of
slap on the
education needs
face
to happen.
immediately.
There's a lot of education which needs to happen in your life. By the way, one of my school friends texted me saying that I put that story of our podcast wala episode, and then he said that some of his friends have started listening to a podcast, and then he said, she's my classmate and all. And then the same day, I got a message from Gattu, my ex roommate, and she said,
Yeah.
I am a fan of KG Bhaiya. Please deliver this message to him. I said, of course, I will. Why would I miss this? Why would I miss someone complimenting the partner and not me? Why would I miss this opportunity? I'll
Of course, you should never miss that. Never. You should
I
never
will
miss that.
never do that. No, but if
It's a
it comes
very
to you,
rare,
I'll
rare,
never.
rare event. Yeah.
This is not the first time she said something like this. She has always complimented you, and the episode with Bharat Bhaiya, it was it was something she
Let's
always
have her
points.
immediately on the podcast.
She's a banker,
Yes.
so yeah, she can have some good stories. She
How
she
greedy
had
are we,
this
right, Priya? How greedy are we? We just look for people who can give us content on the
content.
podcast, who can talk like some who can make some sense. Because both of us, look at this episode. Just look at what we have talked so far.
We have talked
Pure.
about so many things.
Uh, okay, none of that made sense to anyone.
By the
None
way,
of that.
guys, even after keeping this call, we'll have 1 hour again for talking about. We'll be talking about some uh, like peculiar details about how I spent my last 2 weeks and how KGB has landed back to India and what he has had till like 6:30 it is. Yeah, whatever he has had, chai with
Whatever is
some
happening.
special
Yeah.
samosas and kachoris and everything. He's gonna tell me.
I think, one thing that I like about India is things are so accessible here. Like you just get a thought about something and that thing is available around you. In other places, I think you need to plan for everything. Like if you're hungry, you need to think, okay, this is the place I want to go, this is the place I want to do this is the place I want to visit for. fun and entertainment. In India, it's everything so close by. It's because the market is so demanding. Just look at us, people like us. We want a particular thing in a particular way at a particular price. We don't want to pay more. We don't want to pay less. I mean, of course, we can pay less, but we don't want to deal with making efforts to get to a particular place or enjoy or have an experience. We just want things at our doorsteps, and it's so accessible sometimes, so easy and cheap. So
I
that
think
is where I feel like people like me would get spoiled.
ये तो आपने एकदम एनआरआई वाली बातें कर रहे हैं. इट्स नॉट रिलेटेबल टू मी.
Yeah, but it's just I mean,
Because it might have been the case with you in Mexico that going out is an event itself. Ki I'm going out to buy vegetables. So it's an event because
yeah,
you'll be going to mart and planning what all things need to be done, because before coming to house you have to plan few things. Next week you'll have to leave for such food fest happening in Mexico, and etc etc. So
that's
I've
what I'm saying. It's to do something. Here, everything is just so easy. You don't need to plan for anything. You just
yeah.
is done.
Okay. So
Did you
before
watch?
wrapping up, quickly tell me. Oh, I did not. I haven't yet. I'm
I
soon
watched it.
gonna plan. Yeah. How was it?
Watched it. First thing I did when I landed. Okay, so Shah Rukh Khan is good in it. The action is good in it. John Abraham is the hottest person in India. But the story wise, I don't think it was that grasping. There
Appealing.
have been,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there have been spy related stories that we have seen. Like Family Man could be one of them, where
Oh, man.
everything was so like hang episode, very last minute. So I don't know. I just it could be just my expectation from movies that if there's a spy movie, Razi was a very good spy movie, which was like a
Brilliant.
cliffhanger till the very,
Meghna
very, very
Gulzar.
end.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There is nothing
So
extra in it. Every scene has a like reason why this child was there when the last
yeah,
scene.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Not exactly the last scene, but yes. So the child comes and hugs Alia Bhatt. So there is always a reason why something was introduced. It's not always dramatic that एकदम ऐसे बाल flip करते हुए it's gonna come and कोई dialogue आ रहा है एकदम
True.
ऐसा filmy वाला.
Of
So
course. I
yeah,
mean,
I
it's
agree with
it's
you. If
Shah Rukh Khan's comeback, and
so, it's
everything is
gonna be
very
extra.
grand.
Hmm.
Yeah, very grand. Like you'll have a proper cinematic experience and all of those things. The action is good. Things are good. Just the story part, I felt like it's a little average. But this movie's earning like mm, what some 800 crores already.
Yeah,
Making great,
it's
great, great. When will our why are we not doing something like that, Priya? Why are we not doing something that we can make money off? Why are we, I mean, the podcast, not so much,
so you're saying we are
sometimes.
not making money out of our podcast yet.
I
So
yet.
yeah, you may never know. Good things may
Let
never
me
come.
give a subtle plug, guys, whoever is listening till this hour. We have all our episodes on YouTube. Go subscribe there, support us, watch our videos. Which are still just audio, kind of audio videos in there. You won't really get to see anything. So just go, and we're working on getting you video podcasts so that you will have something to look at when you go on YouTube and help us grow, man. I mean, I'm putting it in a very lower voice because I want to sound serious at this point, Priya.
That's what fathers did
And
back
I
in our
just
time.
ruined it. and I ruined it.
बेटा अपनी लाइफ को सीरियसली कब लोगे तो कब लोगे?
All right, you were saying something before I put up the Pathan question.
I must have been asking you about what you had. Ah, okay, yeah. So, one thing, tell me one thing which you'll introduce to your friend who will be visiting Rachi soon. And where will you take him? Like, he or she has just one day in Rachi. So, which place would you take him or her to? And आप खाने का भी कुछ बता दो स्पेशल.
I think Ranchi has a lot of places for good food, like genuinely good food. But I mean, the food is not in a street food style, but like regular restaurants. They are really good. There are a lot of them in here. For touristic experience, like you want to see the nature and something, we have to like you have to travel for 20-30 kilometers outside. I mean, everything is very close by in the vicinity of Ranchi. So like half an hour in any direction, you'll find a beautiful waterfall, and the views are breathtaking. They are so untouched that it's just as it is. It's not commercialized. There are not many shops. There are people visiting it, but it's kept intact. So that's one thing that I really like about it. But apart from that, I guess yeah, it's mostly the food. It's just so nice in here. And
No, so
after
tell me one food like eatery place which you'll recommend.
Punjab Sweet House is the
Hmm.
spot, which is a legendary spot. It was established in 1947, and date, till today, as we are speaking, it's the best and the most trusted food joint in Ranchi. When I'm saying the best, it means the quality, the
Hmm.
price, the service, everything.
Nice.
It's intact. It's beautiful. It's tasty, and I'm having water in my mouth now, right now.
Okay.
I think we should wrap
It's,
this episode. We have talked a lot of nonsense. We've, I think we've
no, we
covered all the
ended with
topics.
food. Yeah, we did cover all the topics, and
Right.
we ended with food. That's the best thing.
Perfect. Perfect. So, all our listeners who have been with us, do check out the other episodes that we have created so far. We recently did an episode with Mr. Mayank Sinha on the latest tech layoffs that's happening around the world. Chat GPT, the AI, which has kind of disrupted the market in a way, and how to crack interviews. And it's such a fun podcast. It's such an informative podcast in a fun way that I really enjoyed listening it back to back, Priya, by the way. I listened to
Yeah.
it. And it has good numbers. A lot of people have heard it so far. I saw that. So thank you all who ever have tuned to us and listened to us over the past weeks. Just recommend this podcast to your friends, your family members, your colleagues, and tell them that you're consuming this kind of podcast, which is informative, fun at the same time. And like, we're not coming here with too much of depth and putting it in your head with so much of detail. We're just giving you a heads up and the headline of the news that's going on and what is our personal take in it. Along with that, we also talk about our personal lives and our personal experience with a lot of things, like the weddings that Priya attended and how rich her sister is and how beautiful she edits the reels and how enthusiastic Priya is about food and everything else
Always.
about Priya. And yeah, that's that's it. I hope you like this episode, Priya. You have to say
Yes.
something?
I just wanna say welcome back. Can't wait to see you.
Yeah. We were gonna see each other soon and do a podcast sitting in front of each other. Surely.
Okay.
All right. Thank you everyone for listening. And let's say that again, mate. Hope you had fun. listening to it. Go check out all the other episodes, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and time to say bye.
Bye, guys.
Hey there, thanks for listening to the podcast. Just in case you liked the episode, do leave us a rating and follow us on whatever podcasting platform you're listening to. It'll be of great help if you share the podcast with your friends and tell them what podcast you're consuming. And you can also send us your questions, suggestions, feedbacks, and AMAs at pleasesaythatagainmate@gmail.com, or you can DM us on our Instagram. Our handles are there in the description of the show. And with that, I'll take your leave and see you again next week.